look at some of the components of it and its impact upon men, women, and children. I think that if we do that, it'll give you an opportunity to give us as much information as you care to give in reference to heterosexuals and homosexuals dealing with the men, and then the women, the impact that it has had upon women and children, AIDS, babies, and etc. That's the kind of information that we're looking for. And why don't you start off by talking about the men and follow that by women and children with this disease?
Now, when we talk about AIDS in general, we can actually say that it's a men's disease. 90% of all the cases in the United States, and that is about over 190,000 cases, the majority, 90%, have been males. In other words, for every 100, only 90 will be males and only 10 will be females. And when we say it's a male disease, it's actually true when it comes to whites primarily. Among white males, we can even say that it's only 95% of those who are infected are males. Only 5% are females. In other words, so it is true that among white males, the disease is predominantly a male disease. And we are seeing that because the mode of transmission of the virus among whites have been primarily men having sex with men. So the virus has stayed among men primarily. When it comes to blacks, though, I mean other minority races, the male issue doesn't hold. For example, among African Americans or blacks, the AIDS is affecting about 20% of the black females. In other words, for every 100 people, infected, 80 of them are males and 20 of them are females. And because of that factor, of course, you can know the implication for children. But among blacks or minorities, you can't see it's a male disease. And we are seeing that because of the mode of transmission among the minorities. Among black, for example, there are some black males, about 44% of them, who have been sleeping with men, and they got the infection, HIV, through having had sex with other men. These men also, we believe that some of them are also having sex with women at the same time. So some of them carry the disease from the men who infected them to their women. We also believe that about 39% of the black males are also drug users. In fact, half of the black females who were infected were also drug users. So through drug use too, the males are infecting the women and the females are also infecting the men. So when we're talking about minorities or blacks, we cannot say AIDS is a male disease. We believe that actually it is getting to become a family disease.
Well, let's look at children. What are the impacts on the children? And I say that primarily because a recent study indicated that this disease has had a greater impact upon poor teens than upon other young people. And of course, I'm making reference to a Job Corps study, I think, that was done quite recently. What about children and the so-called AIDS babies that fall within that category?
Okay, you have two questions. You asked two questions. You asked about teenagers and about babies. Let me start with the babies first. Now, the babies, the babies are getting infected by one primary means, especially among the black community. Over 90% of all the children who were infected were born to mothers who were themselves infected. In other words, the mothers were infected either through having themselves used drugs, or they got infected because they had sex with a black female who was infected. So the children were born infected. Now the good thing is that it's not all these children who are born who will go on to develop AIDS. That's the good thing about it.
We've already demonstrated that.
Yes. There are some, about 40% of those who are born to mothers who are infected will go on to develop AIDS. What is the good thing about that? So the more the females are infected, the more the likelihood that the children will be infected. And as we are seeing it now, black females are getting more and more infected. In fact, over 50% of all females in the U.S. infected are blacks. So naturally, the children who are infected are also blacks. I would say minorities, because Hispanics are also infected. Now, when we are talking about teenagers, when we talk about children, pediatrics, we talk about those from ages 0 to 12. Now, when we are talking about teenagers, from the CDC viewpoint, we are talking about